Good evening, everyone. Forced Access for All has been given notice that the Forest Service is currently taking comments on its draft preliminary need for change document. We wanted to get you some information tonight on that so you could share it with your neighbors and hopefully we can get folks to comment on this document. So currently the U.S. Forest Service is working through the process for the Blue Mountain Forest Plan revision. It was attempted to be revised, the three forest plans from 2014 to 2018, and it was roundly rejected by the public and by county leadership. So we're 6 years down the road since the withdrawal, and the Forest Service is now moving out on a new attempt to restrict our access to the forest. Um, the Forest Service will say that this plan does not restrict the forest. We will explain to you this evening how that will happen. Um, so in this process, there's stages along the way. There is an assessment stage, there's a need for change stage, there's the planning stage, the draft environmental impact statement, and the record of decision. At each one of those points, there is a comment period or feedback period that is allowed. We completed the assessment process this summer, and the Forest Service has released what they are calling their final assessment report. We question whether that's final, as we have yet to see the recommended wilderness section of that, so it doesn't feel very final to us. So now they are moving into the need for change process. Um, this will be the statements that will basically be the framework for why the Forest Service is saying they need to change the forest plans. We will go through all seven of them with you this evening relatively quickly. But the map on the right-hand side really gets to why they need to change the map or change the forest plans. I apologize. Um, Without changing the forest plan revisions, the Forest Service is struggling to pass travel management on the Wallowa women at Mount Hood National Forests. We currently operate on an open forest system, and the Forest Service wants us to get a desired condition within the forest plan that states that basically we're okay as Eastern Oregonians operating in a closed forest. So at the end of the day, you're going to see this red map show up in every one of these slides. We would just have you thinking about the real need of change that the Forest Service is getting to is they want a closed forest. So we'll go on to the next slide. So where we're at in this process is, as stated before, the assessment portion is completed. We're still waiting for the wilderness, the proposed recommended wilderness areas. Um, we're in the need for change portion. We anticipate the planning process for this planning revision, this forest plan revision, will come in early 2025. Then a draft environmental impact statement and all the work that will go into it coming sometime in latter part of 2025, early 2026, and a record of decision coming somewhere 2027. The Forest Service has been very clear once they can get the record of decision in place and they have uh, this set up as a closed forest system, they will move for travel management and they will close the forest. They will move to designated routes. And if you've experienced the Umatilla National Forest, that's what they want to bring to the Wallowa women and now here. So, so the need for change, along with the assessment document, are the justifications for change of the current 1990 forest plans. Um, as stated before, the agency has completed the assessments, um, but we really do not feel like those assessments nor this need for change document reflect the needs of the community or the true conditions as they exist on the landscape. Um, we are now being asked to comment on the need for change statement, and we're going to go through each one of their statements they have throughout this presentation. Um, so just kind of set the groundwork. It's a small document. We have a link in this presentation so you can go see it. It's only 10 pages in length. Um, but it has 7 areas that state basically the why the agency needs to change the 1990 plans. We will go over them here to give you the knowledge to comment. Um, the agency has given us less than 30 days to comment on the need for change documents. It was opened on October 8th, and we have till November 7th. So, as an organization, Forest Access for All doesn't have the time to organize the normal public meetings we would have to help you with this. So, this is our means of being able to get that out to you all. So, what we'll do now is we'll go through each one of the 7 different um, topic areas that the Forest Service's statements cover for their reason for having to revise the 3 forest management plans. Um, on the left-hand side of the screen, you will see the statement. On the left-hand side of the screen, you will see our comment. The map is not a Forest Service map in the principle of the shading of the color. We took the Forest Service's map, colored the areas that would be closed forest, and then everything else we left just exactly what like it was. So just for clarity. So the first reason the Forest Service says they need to revise the plans, the 1990 forest plans, is the 1990 forest plans direction is inconsistent with the 2012 planning rule. Um, our position for that need for change is um, the need for change and assessment failed to specifically address how the 1990 forest plans is inconsistent with the 2012 planning rule. If anything, it looks like to us the 2012 planning rule is not consistent with the 1990 plan. Again, our comment, something we're giving to you for thought, but you can add to that however you want. So we'll move on to the second. So statement number 2 is the plan amendments point to the need for a revision. So the current 1990 plans that we operate under individually for the Malheur, Wallowa Whitman, and Umatilla, they have all had numerous amendments over the years. They're living documents, right? So as policies have changed in the Forest Service, new rules, new regulations, they have amended the forest plans in order to keep business moving forward. They will have to do the same, more than likely, within this new forest plan revision if they get it through. Things will not change, amendments will happen. There's no real difference. So for us, the comment and the question is, if the current forest plans are inconsistent with the 2012 planning rule, how is it that a revision of the plan is warranted and not a comprehensive new plan be written? Also, why is the agency utilizing a crosswalk of the 2018 effort if the old forest plan revision that was withdrawn was based prior to the 2012 rule? It's very convoluted, folks. A crosswalk means that they took the old forest plan revision attempt and they took a bunch of the information and they moved it over to this new attempt. We were told it was withdrawn and they were going to go in and do new science and get this figured out. What it very much feels like is they're doing an expedited process in order to shove the same document back down our throats. So that's a concern for us within this. So statement number 3, the Forest Service has stated their need for change is to work together to create durable, implementable, integrated land management plans. So our comment. The public has not been allowed into the process to create durable, implementable, integrated land management plans. This is mostly focused around efforts to co-opt a system that looks like it's public engagement when it's not, and it's through the Blues Intergovernmental Council, otherwise known as the BIC, which goes to the second point. The public has consistently requested since 2018's withdrawal of the failed attempt to revise the forest plans to be engaged at the BIC and participate as co-equals in the planning process, and has been denied access all along, while special interest groups have been allowed membership at the detriment of the residents. So the BIC is supposed to be an intergovernmental body that is made up of our elected officials, and that's how it started out. But it quickly got co-opted into something where we've seen at least one nonprofit environmental group that is listed in the agenda and the minutes from meetings as a member, but the general public has not been allowed to participate in the process. So we find that to be kind of disingenuous to see work together to create durable plans while the public is not allowed to participate like everybody else. So item number 4, address contributions to social and economic sustainability. This is probably one that really worries us the most is what defines sustainability? Does the Forest Service plan to sustain the current depressed economic conditions that have plagued the region for the last nearly 40 years? Or does the agency plan to develop management plans to improve those conditions through more extractive working lands models of management? The need for change language would be better served as, quote, develop contributions from Forest Service administered lands that promotes social and economic vitality, not sustainability. So anybody that's lived in Eastern Oregon over the last 40 years has clearly saw what's happened to our communities. We're very thankful we still have a sawmill in Pilot Rock. LeGrand's kinds of comes and goes, but we're thankful to have the mill in LeGrand and Elgin. But we had mills in Union, in Pondosa, in Baker, um, Wallowa, Joseph, throughout the region. We don't have those mills anymore. And a lot of it has come from Forest Service decisions that have kept us from getting timber into our mills. So this one really strikes a chord with FAFA. Um, and we really would like to see where we're able to have access to the resources to sustain our communities. So this one we kept kind of short. Um, one of their items is to address a changing climate. To FAFA, the thing about this statement is the climate changes every day. Now, there's those in the community that roll their eyes and call people climate deniers and however that works. But at the end of the day, this is just kind of a nonsensical statement. Um, we're asking for the Forest Service to define what a changing climate is, because it's a function of us all existing on this planet. So we didn't have anything real deep to get into on this. So item number 6 is maintain or restore aquatic habitats and ecosystem integrity. We don't really think anybody argues with that point, right? We all want healthy landscapes. We all want healthy communities. Where we struggle at is the idea that to maintain or restore aquatic habitats and ecosystems, we must close the forest. And what we would ask is that this statement add into it through a well-maintained roads infrastructure that allows for managed working lands to meet item number 4, which is the social and economic item. Um, we can't have these things if we can't maintain them and manage them. So statement number 7 is a great deal like statement number 6. The Forest Service has stated that the need for change is to maintain or restore aquatic habitats and ecosystem integrity. Again, none of us would argue the fact that we would like to restore and maintain the health of our forests. Although we've heard that from some Forest Service employees that that's not what we're after, but it is. We would like to see the statement changed or added to through a well-maintained roads infrastructure that allows for managed working lands to meet item number 4. Again, the social and economic item. You'll note through all these 7, there's only one consideration given to social and economics of the communities, and everything else is environmentally based. It's heavily weighted on environmental items and very lightly weighted towards the health of our communities. So we've summarized up those comments and our concerns. Um, so there's a couple of things here for you that you can look at or go to. So first is where the document is located. So that link at the top is where you can go to find the given document. Again, it's just a short document, it's about 10 pages. You can submit a comment electronically through the Forest Service's comment system. Um, it is provided here as to how to comment. We had to spend some time digging to find it because it's not a very easy document to find or a spot to find. So you can go to this and rest assured that's the spot you want to give your input. You can also mail your comments into the Forest Service at the Umatilla National Forest. If you're going to mail it to them, we would highly recommend you do it certified mail. The Forest Service is notorious for losing comments. So with that, we appreciate your time. As always, you can go to the front of this presentation. There's a phone number and an email address. You can reach out to us at either, or you can find us at Forest Access for All on Facebook. Greatly appreciate your time, and hopefully this has been beneficial. Thank you.